Hi everyone, Adrienne Everheart with you. Thank you so much for joining me on how to make a man fall deeply in love with you, healing your inner wounded child. Now, as always, if you can hear me, please give me a thumbs up. I'm always a little worried that you're not able to. Now, tonight I'm going to be talking about making a man feel inspired to chase, pursue, and claim you with his natural masculine energy. Now, this has very much to do with your own feminine energy, feeling like a high quality woman, a goddess on a pedestal, and balanced in your masculine and feminine energies because you have both of those. Now, having issues as an option is what I'm teaching you how to do, how to attract available men, high quality men, and attracting men who desire marriage and commitment. So ladies, if you're with me, if this is what you want, please give me a thumbs up on this video. Let me know that I'm on the right track, because healing your wounded child has everything to do with being in this wonderful, radiant place with your energy. Now, to feel balanced, really glowing and aligned with high quality men that match or excel your desires, first get really clear that this is what you want. And again, give me a thumbs up, give me a yes if this is what we're seeking here. Now, you have a say in your happiness. You really do. And this begins with healing your inner wounded child. There has been no work I've done that's more powerful than helping women heal their inner wounded child. It is one of the biggest reasons I became a love and dating and relationship coach, because when I saw that had been the biggest problem in my previous marriage, a light went on and I said, wow, this is really going to help a lot of women change a lot of lives, bring much more happiness into your relationship. Now, wounded child can attract you to certain types of men. She can help recreate your childhood. You can recreate your childhood that you had. If you had a house that was full of lots of yelling and screaming, you might recreate that. Or if you had parents that weren't around, you might find a partner that is just abandoning you. You can actually recreate your childhood. She can also begin to heal in a relationship. So once you're with a really good guy, she might start to feel safe and she might start to heal. And then you might find yourself saying, I don't know why, but I'm with this guy. All this stuff is coming out of me. All this stuff is coming up and I just don't feel right with him. It's a very confusing time. And all sorts of pain can rise up when you actually find a good, safe partner. She can actually be attracted to more of a wounded partner because that's water she knows how to navigate through, you see. She can also sabotage your relationships. She can do all sorts of things to sabotage your relationship. Now, if I am preaching here, if you're agreeing with me, please give me a thumbs up in the comment or on the video so I'll know that you understand what this phenomenon is of an inner wounded child and how she can really run your relationship and run you as well. All right, good. Okay, so let's go back in time with inner girl. Now, at one time in your life, you were free to feel and express yourself. And then at some point, you were told that you shouldn't feel this way. You were told not to cry. And you realized that if you suck it up and stuff it down and don't make any waves, you'll get praise. You'll get praise from the adults around you. And you probably began to experience a sometimes stoic and quiet storm of masculine energy within yourself, where you would get things done. In effect, actions. Actions began to bring you a lot of satisfaction in life. But at the same time, you were stuffing down your feelings until you would explode. Or you'd hold them inside until they turned into depression, sadness, health and mental issues. These are issues that women statistically face much, much more than men. And autoimmune conditions are a really good example of this. As women manifest more autoimmune conditions where you're actually fighting with the self more than men do. So tonight I'm going to read from you a little bit from an ebook I wrote called Healing Your Wounded Inner Child. This book is actually free and available in the VIP library. Now, to get access to the VIP library, it has more than 17 items in it. You would need to purchase a program such as Dating Unzipped that myself and Helena Hart did. And you could also look into ABCs to get him back or New Man Manifesto. They all come with their own VIP library. So VIP library, the quality of the publications in there are just so amazing, and they just really don't get the attention that they need. So tonight I wanted to share a little bit with that. And then I'm going to go over really how to heal your wounded inner child. Okay, so let's move on to that. And I'm so happy all of you are with me tonight. I just want to take a moment and just say hello. Hello to Nobody's Perfect and Emma and Beauty by Becca and Angel and Deanna. Hi, Deanna. And Eli and Alma and Jody and Nicole. And oh, hi to everybody. I'm so happy you're here. All right, so let's move on, and we're going to look into healing your wounded child. We're going to really understand what this is all about, how it happens, what we can do so we can begin attracting quality partners into our life, stop sabotaging our relationships, feel and radiate and look and feel and act and speak and talk like a goddess on a pedestal, and feel all of these wonderful, wonderful things that you feel when you, the adult, are confident and in control, and wounded inner child isn't running the show. So I'm going to start off with nasty voice. Most of us have a lot of versions of ourselves inside, and this is often wounded child, a critical parent telling you what to do, a playful child that likes to play and have fun, and the adult. So this isn't about multiple personality disorder. These are just ego states. So when it comes to nasty voice, basically the problems in our relationship are often caused by wounded child and critical parent causing that rift. They're creating problems, or they're focusing on where there is a problem in a relationship, or they're just not feeling good about this guy and they're just not connecting, and you really don't know why. You're like, this is a really great guy. Why am I not connecting to him? It's often related to wounded inner child and critical parent. Now, wounded child from early age learned what to do to get love. She learned how to protect herself from the adults that are around her. And your world and your safety at that time was at the mercy of the adults around you. So we all experienced that in childhood. Now, as a grown adult lady, you are now in charge. And if your wounded child is driving the bus, as I say, or making relationship choices for you, she's doing so because she deeply loves you and wants to protect you. So if you have this nasty voice inside of you that's telling you you should be married by now, no one's going to love you, you're not good enough for anyone, you always mess it up, or you just keep meeting weird guys, I just attract the wrong type of guys, there's no one to date in my town. All of these excuses that we tell ourselves, even if we can prove that they're real, because your perception is your projection, and what you're believing, what you're creating, you will absolutely see. So I want you to all just take a moment and find that voice inside of you and just hear her. And imagine what your wounded child must look like. And just kind of make a mental image of what she must look like. Now, first, I want you to know she's saying all of these nasty things to you because she deeply loves you and she wants to protect you. Loves you, wants to protect you. She is a tough little cookie, and she has survived so much. And depending on your past, survival can range from enduring neglectful or cold behaviors to just the most unthinkable emotional and physical abuse. So first thing I want you to do is I want you to thank your inner child for surviving so you could be here. She endured, she learned how to cope, she learned how to do all of this. Her little body survived so that you may exist in this moment. And what a tough little girl she is. So I want you to just take a moment and thank her. Say thank you. Hug her tightly. Give her love and let her know that you will never abandon her. Good. Now, if this is hitting home for any of you, please write in the comments section. Some of you are saying you're crying. It does get very emotional. You're going to make me start crying because you're connecting with this beautiful part of you that just stopped and decided to instead start helping you survive like an adult. So all of you, you guys, all of you who are feeling this right now and connecting to this, just in the comment section, if you could pick an age for your wounded inner girl, if you could give her a number of maturity, how old would you say she is? We have an 8-year-old. What other ages are you feeling her at? We have a 9-year-old. We have a 5-year-old, an 8-year-old, a 12-year-old, 9-year-old, 5-year-old, 12. So you see how young these are. Sometimes you can trace it back to something that really went wrong at that age. And that's when you were like, I got to grow up. I got to be the adult. I got to do this. I got no time for crying. I got no time for feeling. I got to take care of myself. Maybe you even had to take care of your siblings or your mom or everybody. That might have been your jobs to hurry up and grow up and do this. So she didn't get to be a little girl. She had to be an adult. And my question to you right now is, can a 12-year-old, a 9-year-old, a 5-year-old, an 11-year-old, a 6-year-old, can these children have a loving relationship with a grown adult man? Are they capable of that? Is a child capable of having a relationship with a grown adult man? Can she do that? Yeah, she can. That's why your relationships aren't working. That's a big reason why your relationship isn't working, because this little kid is running the show for you. So I want you to all just take a moment and again, see her in front of you and see her there and tell her, I love you, I hear you, but you're no longer in charge. I love you, I hear you, but you are no longer in charge. Good. Now say to her, I get to choose who I love. And I get to choose who I do not love. You are no longer in charge of me. I am the adult. Make it very, very clear to her. Wounded inner child is why you're picking partners that are never going to work out, because they're safe. She knows how to deal with these guys. She doesn't know how to deal with the guy who shows up, wants to buy you a fancy dinner and call you and doesn't look a certain way. You know, he's got to look a certain way. And sometimes even in that familiarity of how he looks can sometimes be a trigger that this is maybe not the right guy for me. If you feel that boom, instant chemistry, there's usually a familiarity there that she's latching on to, you see. All right. So now that you have had this moment with her, I just want you to take her into your arms. Love her. Let her be a little girl. Your feminine energy will begin to reawaken, and you will begin to unfold those feeling statements that I'm teaching you much better and connect with your guy with your heart, not your intellect, because she gets to run free now and be a little girl. So hug her, hold her. I love you. I will never abandon you. And just absorb her back into your body. She's never going to go away. She's part of you, okay? All right. So how are all of you feeling after that? I have another exercise to do, but I would love to just know how you're all feeling with this exercise. It's very emotional, and all we've done is access this part of her, and it's a very emotional process. It's a good indicator of just how much healing that we all have as children. And it's really reassuring to know that you don't have to let a little kid be in charge of you anymore. If you hear her piping up and she wants a certain guy, you can just say to her, I love you and I hear you, but you're not in charge. You might need to keep reminding that with her. So some of you are feeling really emotional and sad, but also happy, a little lifted, a little free, a little transformed. And it feels good to have the perspective of my grown woman self. Yes, Nadia, indeed. Lioness says, I feel more peaceful. Good, good. So I'm glad that you guys are feeling, one person said, this is beautiful. My inner girl needs much love. Good. And Lauren said, it's hard to control her. So I want you to imagine with your inner girl that you're driving down the freeway and critical parents in the car, the one that says, you can't stay up too late tonight. You have to go to work tomorrow. Sometimes critical parent says other things that are kind of nasty, but critical parent can have a good place in your life. And you have nurturing parent who's saying, honey, don't drive too fast. We don't want you to get in an accident. You need to be safe. Okay. And you have playful child who's like, let's turn up the radio and sing to our favorite song. And then you have this little wounded inner child. And what if she's in the back seat and she unbuckles her seatbelt, starts climbing over the seat, starts pushing you out of the way, and is trying to take the wheel? So if you had an actual child in your car doing that and kicking you, pushing you out of the way and wanting to drive on the freeway, what would you tell that child? That's what you want to do with your inner child. Under no circumstances will you be driving this car. Ladies, you are that car. You are that car. You are the adult. You are in charge, not anybody else. They can talk. You can hear them talking. Why don't you call him? I wish he'd call us. Why hasn't he called us yet? Adult will say, if he really wanted to call me, he would. If he really loved me the way I want to be loved, he would be here. That's what adult says. Wounded child says, well, maybe we can drive past his house. Maybe we should get all dressed up and go see him. That's her talking, trying to go back to what's familiar. So you begin to notice the difference in these voices, okay? Critical parent might say, or nasty voice might say, no one's ever going to love you. Don't you know that? I'm going to teach you how to deal with that next. So I don't know about the rest of you, but there are certain times that I get really triggered by my nasty voice, or by images or thoughts that punish me over my past and just really make me feel bad about myself. They're these negative self-thoughts that we have. And I'm reading some of your answers. Someone said, get back in your seat and put your seatbelt down and sit down. So funny. Brava, that is what you want to say. So in the morning, if I don't get out of bed and go ahead and start my day, my brain will begin to just give me an idea of where I really messed up in life. And our brains are just so against us sometimes, it feels like that. But remember, your brain is a problem-solving machine, and it's always trying to make you better or remind you of something so it doesn't happen again. And you go through this horrible process. So I'm going to talk a little bit about that, about how to deal with nasty voice and deal with this whole process. So anybody want to share with us just something that pops up in your head, or I'll just use an excuse of my own, but just come up with something that your nasty voice might say to you, like, when you're brushing your teeth in the morning or taking a shower or you're about to get out of bed. If anybody wants to be coached. Okay, you're annoying. Nadia says you're annoying. And it might remember, or you need to lose weight. You're annoying. You're broken. You're crazy to think you even deserve a guy. You're not smart enough. These are good. You look ragged. You are getting really old. Who's going to want you? All right, these are all what I'm hearing. So I want to tell you something about feminine energy. When you get really good at this, and you get really good at accessing your feminine energy, and you have so much self-love for yourself, and you're such a goddess on a pedestal, you will begin to look more youthful. You really will. You'll begin to look more youthful. So much of everything is what our brains are perceiving that we're seeing. And I believe you begin to look more youthful. I have looked more youthful having done this than what I did before. So just something to think about that. So you're boring, you lack confidence, and you're stubborn. And why can't you be disciplined like you used to be and work out? Sing it. You are preaching the truth. So we are very hard on ourselves, are we not? I don't know if men have this problem. I really don't. Maybe they have different problems, like you don't make enough money and your muscles aren't big enough, or something else isn't big enough. I don't know. But here's what I want you to do when that voice pops up. So go ahead and practice with me. First thing you say is, thank you. And I hope you guys can see this. I hope it's not backwards. Thank you. That voice is popping up in that moment to remind you what a failure you are, how you're not doing what you need to be doing. Critical parent is on your back. Why can't you go and do this the way you need to do? You're running out of time. Thank you. Thank you. I hear you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. Next one is, I want you to say, I'm sorry. You're not so much saying, I'm sorry to that voice. You're saying, I am sorry to me. I am sorry that I am creating this situation to have this feeling, to even hear these words. I'm sorry that I'm creating this. I'm sorry that right now, this is what's coming up inside of me. I am sorry. I'm sorry for creating this. Do you hear? Okay. You're not apologizing to the voice that you've done something wrong. You're apologizing to yourself for creating the situation and the beliefs that this is real, that this voice is real or has any power over you. I'm sorry. So we have thank you. I'm sorry. Next one is, I forgive you. I forgive you. You're stubborn. Thank you. I'm so sorry within myself that I am creating a situation to believe that I am stubborn. I'm so sorry that in this moment I'm choosing to possibly think that I may be stubborn. I am so sorry that I'm creating this situation in my life as if it is real right now. I'm sorry. I forgive you. You're off the hook. I forgive you. Whatever's manifesting this, wherever it's coming from, whatever, I forgive you. Whomever, whatever experience, I forgive you. I always love to tap your heart and send them love. I forgive you. Good. The next one is, I love you. Yes, I love you. I encourage you to love the part of you that is being the hardest on you. Love all parts of you. If you don't love all parts of you, no man will love all parts of you either. And that's what we're going for. I love you. All right. So I hope that you guys are able to connect with these. This is going to take repetition. It's going to take practice, okay? Your thoughts are like this. They're automatic. Your brain is a word machine. Someone had said, yes, thoughts are kind of useless. And your brain is automatic. You've got that reptilian brain where it's just sending you stuff. And it's not the first thought that counts. It is the second. First thought says, no one's going to love you. Second thought says, thank you. Thank you for telling me this. I hear you. You're receiving it instead of like, why is this voice in my head again? Okay. If you resist it, it'll persist. We've all heard that one before. All right, everybody. I'm going to open you up for any questions. Oh, Milana, thank you so much for your super chat contribution. She said, I'm not good enough. I can easily be replaced. Thank you, the part of me that's telling me I'm not good enough right now. Noted. I am so sorry to myself that I am creating any sort of belief that I am not good enough and I can be replaced. I am so sorry that I am creating that experience or that notion or that concept that could possibly exist right now. I'm sorry. I forgive you. If there's any part of you contributing to not being good enough, if there was a time in your life when you didn't feel good enough, you said the wrong thing, you did the wrong thing, you broke a promise, you broke someone's trust, you threw something at them, hey, it happens. I forgive you. And I love you. I love you. Everything is healed with love. A Course in Miracles says there's only fear and love. There's no in between. You're either feeling fear, I'm not good enough, I can easily be replaced, or you're feeling love. The key to healing this stuff is with love. Okay? So we have a couple of minutes for questions, and I'll just open up chat and see if anybody has any questions for me. And if you have any questions about what we, talked about tonight or anything like that. Oh, hi, Annika. It's good to see you. And is it better to build chemistry while dating? Stacy asked that. In my opinion, yes. Myself, even Roy Ray, a good friend and mentor of mine, we have often talked about how when we met our husbands, we weren't like, yes, this is the man I want to marry. But it just built upon itself. And if you even look back in time, the man that you might be crazy about right now, who in the beginning you were maybe not so crazy about him, it really kind of builds on itself. So yeah, I think that building chemistry, I think there's this love that we experience in our 20s. And then at some point it changes into something different. I really believe how relationships evolve, change, and then all we know is all that starstruck love we used to feel when we were younger. But for me, love is about someone being there, loyal, committed, loving, dependable, with my best interest in mind, who I also develop attraction for, and hopefully you enjoy getting in the bed with them and anything else you want to do. But most of all, it's about loyalty, commitment, trust. That person has your back. Nadia said, I'm getting tired of dating apps. It's not feminine energy to swipe so much. I get lots of dates, but the men just want fun, so I happily let them go. I'm tired of hunting, aka swiping. Nadia, do you have a question, though? I think you were on iHeart Love Academy with that too earlier. And for all of y'all who are tuning in, I have a free group over on Facebook. It's at facebook.com/group/iHeart Love Academy. And it's spelled that way, iHeart Love Academy. And join, it's just totally free. We chat. If you're tired of dating and dating apps, there's no curiosity anymore, and you might be overusing them. You might be on them too much. So I want you to start to pay attention to the thoughts you're thinking while you're on a dating app. And start to pay attention to what you're thinking. And I want you to try and shift up your thoughts when you go to get on that dating app. I want you to just say, I'm going to have fun. I'm going to set a timer for 15 minutes. I'm just going to have fun. Or, ooh, I'm excited to see who I meet. Instead of, no, he's too fat, too thin, too this, doesn't work a job. What? Notice the judgments you're thinking. Start to pay attention to what you're thinking. And you have the power to change that. All right. Let's see. Someone said, I put myself online, but my boyfriend doesn't like it. What should I tell him? Well, if he's your boyfriend, it sounds like you're in a committed relationship. So look into Dating Unzipped. That's a program I did with myself and Helena Hart. Again, you get the VIP library. You get this little ebook that's in there. It's more than 17 items. So check that out. Someone deactivated their Facebook and Instagram. Whoops. That's a really good point. I feel like Facebook is kind of like this necessary evil right now. It's still the best way to get together. It's still the best way to come together. But I eventually, on my website, I want to just go back to the good old-fashioned news groups. Yahoo used to have amazing groups, and maybe they'll come back. Maybe we'll make a big comeback. There was a question in here. Claudia wanted to know about the rebel character and self-sabotage. So self-sabotage usually happens because you're in a situation that might be going pretty good, and it scares inner girl, or it scares your saboteur, because you might actually start to feel love. You might actually begin to connect with this person and build something wonderful and magical and beautiful, and that scares her. So this exercise that we did tonight will help you with that, as will the thank you, I'm sorry, I forgive you, and I love you. And just keep going over those over and over again when you hear that voice pop up, okay? Let's see. Jenny, isn't chemistry either there or not? Can it really be built? Jeannie. So I teach you a tool where you fall in love with every man you meet, and it takes practice. And you fall in love with one thing with every man you meet. And then that way, all of your energy towards men is kind of neutral. So when that guy that walks in, you're not like, oh my God, he's here. You won't have all that energy rushing out at him. The other thing you're doing is you're learning to not automatically see everything that's wrong with a person, but instead see something that's right. And then that becomes a habit. With enough practice, that becomes a habit. It's a very good habit to have, especially with a man that is there for you. He's showing up, he's taking you out, and he's being a good partner. That's how my husband got me. He kept coming over to my house doing stuff, fixing a door, doing something with my windows, showing up with food, taking me out, wanting to make love to me. And then just before I knew it, I was like, wow, you're not my type, but I do not want to lose you. Let's see. Milena, you're very welcome. I'm glad it's helping you. How can we keep dating when it's so much work? Get one of my programs. Get ABCs to get him back. Get New Man Manifesto. That's the best one, because I teach you how to date the non-applicable man. I teach you how to talk to men. I teach you how to go from texting to the date very quickly. And I teach you how to actually date 3 guys in one day, solely to practice. So check out New Man Manifesto, and that link is in the description, and it comes with VIP library. Scorpio says, I want to know if I stop with my ex, we talk, but he doesn't want to open up or call or go out, but we talk. Do I let it go? That is only something you know. A woman always knows when it's time to walk away. You always know when it's time to let go and walk away. So that's something that only you know. So here's the purpose of dating, because I'm getting a ton of questions about dating. Is that dating is how you move up the tiers. You are calling forth a man. If you're not liking the men you're finding on dating apps, there's something in your energy that you're seeing mostly those guys. And that's what you're attracting and pulling to you. Okay? So just hang with me. So let's say guy A comes along and he maybe just has one thing that you like about him. And when you go on that quick coffee date with him, you practice just like one or two tools. You don't overwhelm yourself. Just practice one or two tools. And you start those tools from the very first time he goes, hey, what's up? You start that tool. In 500 Ways to Talk to a Man, I teach you how to do that even when a guy sends you something like, hey, what's up? So again, you want to go from texting to phone call, one phone call, very short, to an actual date. Make the date just something quick for coffee. If you like him and you want to keep him, go out with him again. Or if he asks you out. But let's say he shows up and it's just like, ugh. I talk about the guy I went on the date with at the movie theater that had the ice cold hand on my neck. And I had to sit through this whole movie. And I was like, that's it. I'm changing my program to 30-minute coffee dates first date. So you don't get stuck in a bad situation. But what did I learn? Oh my God, I learned so much that night. I learned so much about me. I learned more about what I want in a person, what I don't want in a person, what I do like. I was able to practice my tools. I feel really uncomfortable with your hand on my neck. Practice a feeling statement, you see? Because one day you're going to be married and your husband's going to do all sorts of stuff. And I want you to know how to deal with it. So that's the purpose of dating. You're moving up the tiers. You're going to, after you ride one wave, and you don't just run from that guy, but after you ride it and you learn from it, you will notice you attract a higher quality man next time around. And it'll just keep building on itself. So ladies, you just have to trust me. You won't move up tiers going, sitting at home alone or just doing stuff with your girlfriends. You have to practice on guys. Sorry. According to me, you do. All right, I'm going to scan through your questions here because I think I've talked enough about how to date. Again, New Man Manifestos start with the spring session. Even if you have a guy in your life you love, New Man Manifesto is about rebuilding, finding what it is you really want in a partner, so that man will actually come back around with those qualities that you want, or you'll attract the man you're meant to be with. Okay. Let me just read these. Oop. Let's see. Donna says, I have a new guy. We have hot chemistry. It's easy for that to be the focus. I want to get to know him and find out what kind of guy he is. How do I pace him so that I can learn about him? Dates. Go on lots and lots of dates. If you go on one date with a guy and then it turns into texting for 2 weeks, that's not dating. So again, just 500 ways to talk to a man. I talk about how to avoid that. How you can let a man know, it feels really good to connect with you, yet I'm getting really bored with texting. A phone call would feel lovely. You have a man that's calls you or keeps trying to text you, you can let him know it felt so good to connect with you on our date, but I'm really looking for a regular dating relationship. What do you think? And you see what he says. Otherwise, you let him know, I feel like we're on 2 different pages. I'm going to be moving on. And the guy will go, no, wait. What are you doing Friday? That happens sometimes. All right. I am seeing a lot of questions. Let's see here. Leah said, I have been using your products combined with inner child healing, and I'm now on date 8 with an amazing man. I listen to you before every date. And honey, it has helped. Wonderful. I'm glad that it's helping you. So this stuff really works. I always tell everybody it's the most authentic, honest work you do. You don't have to play games. You don't have to be manipulative. You don't have to be up in your head. You'll stop being a nervous wreck. You can just lean back and just see what the guy does. And you just show up with how you feel. So, oh, this is a good one. Elizabeth said, do you have a feminine energy strategy to help dealing with anger towards a man during a breakup? I want to get rid of the negative energy and let go. So during a breakup, during the actual breakup, you're going to be angry. You're going to be angry because remember, anger is about control. And whenever anything's out of our control, we get angry because we want it to change back to something we can control. So you're driving along in your car, somebody cuts you off. You stupid, why'd you cut me off? You get angry at them because they should be driving in their lane and going at a proper speed and not cutting you off, you see? So that's what anger is about. And breaking up is devastating on a woman at any time in her life. So you're going to feel anger. Anger is normal. It's a normal reaction. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just, are you taking it out on yourself? Are you taking it out on him or someone else? Are you finding healthy ways to deal with it? Some healthy ways to deal with it are journaling, writing it all out, having a good counselor, a good support system, some girlfriends you can talk to, exercise, invest in yourself, invest in your wellness, get in the best shape of your life. Read, go to the library and check out some books on some things you've always wanted to learn. You're responsible for making your life fulfilling and wonderful, and that will really, really help you with the anger. I hope that's helped. But it's just part of it. You go through a period of time very angry. All right, I'm going to sign off for now. And I'll take, let's see, one said, Leah said, I love what you say about the wounded woman. That one hit me so hard. I'm really glad that helped you, hon. Someone also had a message. It didn't show up because it had the word sex in it, but she was talking about her initiating sex and that being masculine. Here's the thing. When you're a goddess on a pedestal, I want you to understand that sex is about when you want it on your terms. And if you're in the position where you're having to pursue the man for sex, the energies have flipped. You are now being masculine and he's being feminine. And you got to reactivate him into the masculine. The best way to reactivate him into the masculine is you quantum dating. Now, how can you quantum date if you're married? Well, I have a very familiar answer for you. I have an ebook for it. It's in the VIP library. If you get any of my programs, there's an ebook in there about how to quantum date. But the fastest thing I can tell you is get really comfortable receiving those arrows from all men. Men are looking at you and shooting you that arrow every day. And if you act like they're not there, it's not going to rev up your feminine vibe. There are so many things you can do to rev up your feminine vibe. But start with that one and talk to men, become comfortable talking to them. The older gentleman that's bagging your groceries at the grocery store, is there something about him that you could fall in love with and admire? And try this and see what it starts to do with your energy. Okay. All right, ladies, I'm going to sign off from here. Can you recommend a program for me? I want to keep the relationship. I'm horrible at keeping a good relationship because of my fear. Getting back our New Man Manifesto. I love New Man Manifesto. It's my most expensive program, but it is the most stuff. You will get so many audios, and I have these amazing worksheets that get you to use law of attraction, help narrow down what it is you desire, but how it makes you feel. So when you can get in touch with what you feel and you start feeling good about the things you want in life, you will begin to pull more of them to you. You do not have to believe in anything new age. Take just 30 seconds and think about something or someone that makes you really happy. You know, it could be riding your bicycle, walking on the beach, exercising, having a great new outfit to show off to everyone, or a new haircut. And just live there with it for just 30 seconds if you can, and see this happening to you. Take a dream you want, anything, and see it, imagine it unfolding, and you will start to feel good. When you start to feel good, everything starts to line up inside of you. Men are going to be attracted to you if you feel good about yourself and if you feel like a goddess on a pedestal. And a goddess on a pedestal has sex on her terms when she wants it. And that's that energy you want to have, is that if it's not you, I have a lot of other options. And those options are, I'm not suggesting anything, like outside of a marriage or relationship, but keep your options open, whatever that may mean for you. Keep that vibe flying high, that energy feeling really, really good. And you'll attract more and more of that to us. Okay. All right. I'm going to let you all go. Yeah, you might struggle with finding the words right now. And the reason that is because you have just newly been acquainted with your inner girl. So it's brand new. It's going to take a little while for that relationship to unfold. Okay. So again, I've listed all my products in my programs in the comments section, in the description. They come with the VIP library. They come with this little ebook on connecting with your inner wounded child. I have the ebook Sex, Sex, Sex. I have the ebook How to Quantum Date. There's so much good stuff in there. If you get Dating Unzipped with myself and Helena Hart, it comes with some books Helena did as well. It's a lot of good stuff in there, not just the programs, but that VIP library. You can download them on your phone and put them in Acrobat and just read them, while you're just doing stuff throughout your day, and it'll help you learn. This stuff takes a lot of repetition. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for joining. Please give me a thumbs up if you have found a shred of good stuff in this video. Just take a moment, hit the thumbs up on this video. It helps other women find it and helps them find my work. Every day I get emails from women who are like, Adrienne, I'm so happy I found you, or maybe they found me through Helena or someone else. But please take a moment, give me a thumbs up. If I didn't get your question in the chat, just use the chat below and just ask me a question. And I like to answer all my questions. I try to do that for you all. Okay. I love you guys all too. Thank you so much for being here. And, I'm going to do another one of these in a couple of days. So stay tuned. If this video has already been recorded and you're seeing it now, just know it's part of the How to Make a Man Fall Deeply in Love with You series, the FEM video series, and I should have it in a playlist for you to watch all of them at that point. For those of you who haven't seen the one on masculine guilt, that's already out, so check that one out as well. All right, ladies, have a great evening. Thank you so much for showing up. I'll see you soon.